अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तिनको स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मोक्ष मार्गस्य नेतारम पेतारं कर्म भूभृतां ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये। So we continue with the 10th chapter, that is about liberation, and we are going to start from page number 398. And there is a correction here. Modes states, it's not mode state, it's disposition. In Hindi is bhav. Bhav is always disposition. Okay. Although modes and states are also partially correct, but it does not indicate the true meaning. So disposition is a good word. You can change it to disposition. Okay. So those who have taken out a printout, they can correct in their own copy. And those who are referring the soft copy, I will get it corrected when everything is complete. So disposition present in the liberated soul. Okay. So from here we begin, and Subhaji, you read.
The aphorism describing the disposition present in the liberated soul is as follows. In the liberated soul, all other states are absent, except for completely purified right belief, Shaik Samyaktva, Keval Jnan, omniscience, Keval Darshan, perfect perception, and Siddhatva, the state of liberation. A question may arise. Does the liberated soul not experience infinite bliss? The answer is due to the inseparable nature of knowledge, Gyan and Darshan, states like infinite bliss and infinite energy are indeed present in the Siddha. The physical form of Siddha is slightly smaller than their final embodied form. Whatever the form was in their final body, once freed from it, the void spaces within their body cease to exist, resulting in the space points of the soul occupying a slightly smaller volume than the embodied form. Now, with this cause and effect, Siddha Bhagavan will remain eternally in this very form, as there is no longer any reason for further transformation of shape. From beginningless time until now, the cause of such transformation in shape was physics determining karma, nama karma. It was solely due to the rise of physics determining karma that the soul's form kept changing in the worldly state. Now that physics determining karma has ceased, there is no longer any cause for transformation in the form.
So you see, what are the dispositions present in the liberated soul? So once you get liberated, so you have these 4 types of disposition. The first one is purified right belief. Okay. That is Shaik Samyaktva. Then the second is omniscience. That is very clear. The third one is Keval Darshan. That is perfect perception. And the fourth one is Siddhatva, the state of liberation. Okay. Then question, do not they experience infinite bliss? So, Gyan, Darshan, Sukh and Virya, all these 4 are always together. Okay. So, bliss, that is Sukh, is always there along with knowledge. Okay. So the answer is due to the inseparable nature of knowledge, Gyan, and darshan, that is perception, states like infinite bliss, sukh, and anant virya, infinite energy, are indeed present in the siddha. Okay, so siddhas do experience infinite bliss. The physical form of a siddh is slightly smaller than their final embodied form. Okay, whatever the form was in their final body, once freed from it, the void spaces, so there are gaps, like we have two nostrils, there is a gap. Okay, then at some other places also we have gaps, so all those gaps cover ups. Okay, so void spaces within that body cease to exist, it stops, it doesn't uh, it does not exist anymore, so resulting in the space points of the soul occupying a slightly smaller volume than the last embodied form. So Adinath Bhagwan was 500 dhanush tall and Mahavir Bhagwan was only 7 feet tall. Okay, so whatever is your last body that you have occupied, it's little bit less than the last body. Okay, and they are all connected with their heads, so uh, at the upper level they will be all at touch, their head touching the Siddh Sila, and in the lower part it will be different. Okay, so like Adinath Bhagwan would be 500 dhanus, which is a very long height, maybe around more than 200 feet, and Mahavir Bhagwan is only 7 feet. So that way the difference will be there in the lower side, but in the upper side all are at one level. Okay, now with this cause in effect, the Sith Bhagwan will remain eternally in this very form. So whatever changes has to happen has already happened, now it's going to be there in that particular shape all the time, as there is no longer any reason for further transformation of shape. From beginningless time until now, the cause of such transformation in shape was because of physics determining karma, and that karma has already been eliminated, destroyed. Okay, so now there is no chance of any transformation in form. So this is all about the fourth aphorism. Now moving on to 5, 6, 7, 8. The law of movement of liberated
Excuse me, Jay,
souls.
I have a small question. Like
Yes.
we do say, no, Parshvanatha Tirthankar is green in color, and
Huh.
why do they say like that? He is green in color. Someone is
So that are the colors that when they existed, it was there. Or I think these are the colors of the statues, because all the Tirthankars have Param Audarik Sarir.
yeah,
So they have white blood, So
yeah.
I don't think this is related to their last body, but the the kind of deity that we uh, you know manufacture or make, that has these colors.
So they differentiated. They are given in like that.
Yes,
And you also told now Adinath Bhagavan is so much height that also
right.
is only for that purpose. Or is it true?
No, that is not mandir purpose. That is an actual, because the
Actually,
Adinath Bhagwan was the first Tirthankar. So
yeah,
at that
yeah.
point of time, the height used to be that long,
Okay. The
and
people
and
who
and
were
the
living at
age
that time.
age was also very 84
Okay.
lakh purvas, and Mahavir Bhagwan was only 72 years.
Okay.
So those differences will be there. So body, the last embodied form, little less than that.
Yeah, that I do understand. But in some, when we are learning that Pratmana Yoga, lot of things are there. That is, they live for so many years. They are of so much height.
Hmm.
They're saying it like that, right? So I have a doubt whether it's true or they are
No,
saying
it's true, it's true, it's true.
it's
But
true.
when we are installing the pratimas in our mandirji,
Okay.
then that height doesn't matter. Then
Okay.
according to the length and breadth of our temple, we choose the pratimas, it could
But
be,
actually, they are of that one height only.
yeah, they of that height only. That
Oh,
is true.
thank you, Ji.
Hmm. So the law of movement of liberated soul. So once you get liberated, how do you go? You go straight up or you do a curve? So these are some of the questions, uh, that has been answered in this 4 aphorisms. Uh, Darshitji, you read.
Jai Jinendra. Now we explain how the movement and position of souls occur after liberation. The related aphorisms are as follows. After liberation, the soul moves upward all the way to the end of the cosmos. Locke. Due to prior exertion, absence of attachment, the severance of bondage, and the inherent nature of upward motion, the liberated soul ascends. This ascent is like the potter's wheel which continues spinning due to previous momentum, a gourd that rises once the clay coating is washed off, the castor seed that rises upward, and the flame of fire that always rises. The liberated soul does not go beyond the end of the cosmos, Lok, due to the absence of the medium of motion, Dharmastikai. Summary of these 4 aphorisms. Just as a potter's wheel continues to spin even after the potter stops turning it, due to its previous momentum, in the same way, although the efforts of the embodied soul cease upon liberation, the liberated soul still moves upward by the force of prior exertion. Second one, just as a gourd previously coated with clay and thus weighed down becomes light and floats up quickly once the clay is washed away by water, in the same way the soul burdened by karmic weight ascends onto that once that burden is removed. The third one, just as the rupture of the seed shell results in the upward motion of a castor seed, in the same way when all karmic bondages that cause embodiments such as human form are severed, the liberated soul naturally begins to ascend. The fourth one, just as a flame, when not influenced by the slanting movement of wind, naturally rises upward due to its inherent nature, likewise, the liberated soul, upon the cessation of karmas that cause various forms of worldly movement, ascends due to its inherent nature of upward motion. At this point, a natural question arises. Why does the soul, which has a nature of ascending, stop at the end of the universe? Lok. In response, it is said that due to the absence of the medium that enables motion, dharmastikai, that is, since the medium of motion does not exist beyond the boundary of the universe, the liberated soul cannot go beyond it. Should I continue, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Objection. If the medium of motion, dharma dravya, existed in the space beyond the universe, lokakash, wouldn't the liberated soul go there as well? Answer. What is the point of asking such hypothetical questions? The reality is that except for space, akash, the remaining 5 types of substances by their own inherent capability, upadan yogyata, do not and cannot exist outside the universe. Therefore, we can also reframe the answer as follows. The liberated soul, due to its own intrinsic capacity and due to the absence of the medium of motion, does not proceed into the space beyond the universe, alokakash. Just as by nature, the medium of motion does not exist in the space beyond the universe, similarly, the inherent upward motion of the soul is destined only to reach the summit of the universe, lok. It is not the case that due to the absence of a medium of motion, the liberated soul is forcibly halted at the edge of the universe. To think in that way would amount to casting doubt on the infinite autonomy of the liberated soul.
Stop. So you see, uh, 4 examples given. So soul is always of the nature to go upward motion, to do upward motion. Okay. So 4 examples are being given for proving that the potter's wheel, which continues to spin due to previous momentum. Okay. So in science, you must have read about inertia of motion. So when something is in movement, so once the connection is already disconnected, still it remains in motion for some time, as you can see in fan, you know. So when you switch off the fan keeps on moving for certain period of time. Gradually it slows down and ultimately it stops. Okay. So similarly, the liberated soul still moves upward by the force of prior exertion. The second is example of God. Just as God previously coated with clay, okay, so now the clay has been washed away by water, so it becomes lighter, and it starts going up once it becomes lighter. Similarly, the soul burdened by karmic weight ascends one that karmas are removed. The third example, just as the rupture of the seed shell results in the upward motion of a castor seed, in the same way, when all karmic bondages that cause embodiments such as human form are severed, destroyed, the liberated soul naturally begins to ascend. And the fourth example, just as a flame, when not under the influence of the wind, naturally rises upward due to its inherent nature. Okay. Likewise, the liberated soul, upon the cessation of karmas that cause various forms of worldly movements, ascends due to its inherent nature of upward motion. So one more question, that why the soul does not go beyond the lokakash. So due to the absence of dharmastikai, medium of motion, it does not go beyond the lokakash, okay, does not go beyond the universe. Then another question, if the medium of motion existed, then it would go. So then the answer is that what is the point in asking such hypothetical questions? We have to just look at what are the facts that's being presented, and not imagine something have to, like, if it would have happened this way, that way. So many people do have this kind of curiosity to ask questions which does not exist. Okay. So the reality is that except for Akash, the remaining 5 types of substance, okay, by their very constitution, Upadan Yogyata, eligibility of the principal cause, okay, do not and cannot exist outside the Lokakash. Therefore, we can also reframe the answer as follows, that liberated soul, due to its own essential limitation, intrinsic capacity, and the absence of the enabling medium, dharmastikai, does not proceed into the aloka kash. So whatever way you say, the fact is it doesn't go beyond universe, the loka kash. Just as the dharmastikai does not exist, where it is. Just as the nature of the medium of motion does not exist in the space beyond the universe, similarly, the inherent upward motion of the soul is destined only to reach the summit of the universe. Okay. One more paragraph. It is not the case that due to the absence of media for motion, the liberated soul is forcibly halted at the edge of the universe. To think that in that way would amount to casting doubt on the infinite autonomy, independent nature of the liberated soul. Okay. So you can say from the principal cause point of view also, and you can say because of the instrumental cause also. Both kinds of statements do exist in Jainism scriptures, right?
Rajesh
So
sir, I have a question for this.
yes.
So the way this is written, it means that the universe is, after the universe, there is something more. So
So
in Jain
space is there, no?
cosmology,
Space is there, no? Space.
just
Space is,
space.
yeah.
Okay.
Akash is there. Akash is only one dravya, okay? It's a
Yeah.
consolidated dravya. So some parts is in the universe and some part beyond the universe. And
Okay.
the part that is beyond the universe is infinite times more than the part that is there in the universe. But the other five substances only exist in the universe. So we don't have any issue whatever is existing beyond the universe, you know. So
Right.
nothing exists beyond the universe, only the space is there. But then other than that, there is nothing over there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now page number 401, distinctions among liberated beings. So the question is how there could be any distinctions when they are already liberated, you know. So from some point of view, the difference do exist. Now there are two viewpoints. One is the present focus viewpoint, that is called pratyutpanna, and the other one is past oriented viewpoint. So if we consider the past oriented viewpoint, there will always be differences between the liberated soul. Just as I said now that Adinath Bhagwan was 200 feet of height and Mahavir Bhagwan was 700 feet height. So if we consider the immediate prior modification of the liberated soul, there would be difference. But that is from the conventional viewpoint. Okay, that is a conventional viewpoint. And from the present focused viewpoint, so these two perspective, putting these two perspectives into work, there exists a difference that is being explained. Okay, although if we consider the liberated soul, there is no difference. Okay, they are devoid of any practical differences. Okay, but still when we apply these viewpoints, there exists a difference. So that is what being explained in the first paragraph. You understand it properly, then only you will be able to understand the differences that are coming up. Okay, so there are 12 parameters on which the differences exist, and all these 12 expositions have been explained here. Okay, so first paragraph, though among Siddhas, there is no mutual distinction in terms of realm of existence. Okay, because all are liberated, so there is no realm of existence, difference in realm of existence. There is no difference in caste or any such category, and thus they are devoid of any practical differences. Still, when seen from the standpoint of space, time, realm of existence, okay, etc. etc. means there are 12 parameters given here. There too exist certain relative distinctions among them. The relevant aphorism reads Kshetra, Kal, Gati, Linga, Tirtha, Charitra, प्रत्येक बुद्ध बोधित ज्ञान अवगाह अंतर संख्या अल्पबहुत्व साध्याः. So this is the aphorism number 9, and there are 12 parameters given. On basis of those 12 parameters, there could be a difference that exists in the liberated soul. But all these are imaginary, you know. In reality, there is no difference. But if we add up these two perspectives, there are differences. So that is being explained now. So the liberated being states, okay, sadhya, are classified or understood in terms of region or space, kshetra. Second one is time, kal. Third is realm or gati, or we can say state of existence also. The fourth one is gender, linga. Fifth, spiritual tradition, tirth. Sixth is conduct, charitra. Then seventh is self-enlightenment or enlightened by others. Pratyek Buddha or Bodhi Buddhatva. Okay. Eighth, knowledge. Then ninth, spatial occupancy, avgahana, avgaha. Then intervals, antar. Numerical strength, sankhya. And according to fewness or multiplicity, alpa bahutva. Okay. So these are the 12 types of expositions wherein we are considering the difference in a liberated soul. Although in reality there is no practical differences between two liberated souls, all are complete in itself and all have destroyed all the karmas. So in that context, there is no practical difference. But when we apply the viewpoints, from certain viewpoints, if we see the things, then there is a difference. Okay. An analysis based on the present focused viewpoint. So this is the first one. It is called in Hindi Pratyutpannanay. Pratyutpannanay means present focused viewpoint. Okay. And the other one is past oriented viewpoint. Bhut Pragyapan Nay allows for 12 types of exposition. Now, what is this present focused viewpoint and what is this past focused viewpoint? So their definitions are given here. A viewpoint that grasps only the present mode or the true nature of a substance. Okay, that is present focused viewpoint. It's called Pratyutpannanay. Okay. For example, Ruju Sutranay or the Nischay. Okay. So they just grasp only the present mode. Okay. What they are in the present moment. A viewpoint that focuses on past modes, past dispositions. Okay. Is known as Bhut. Bhut means past. Pragyapan Nay. Okay. For example, the Vyavharnay. So one is Nischay more or less, the other is Vyavharnay. So there exist these two kinds of viewpoint, and from those perspective, the differences in a liberated soul do exist, that is being considered here. The first one is space, Kshetra. From the present focused viewpoint, the liberated soul in the Siddha Kshetra, okay, is freed from the soul's own space points. Okay, is freed from the soul's own space points, Atma Pradeshas, or from those space points where the soul resided just prior to liberation. Okay, so prior to liberation, those space points where the soul resided, so that has been freed from, he has been freed from there. From the past oriented viewpoint, liberation may occur hypothetically from any region in human existence across the 15 karma bhumis. Okay, so all these all of these 15 karma bhumis, a soul can get liberated. So this is from the past oriented viewpoint. Okay, that is, if one were to take a human from any region to another, thus liberation is possible from any location within the human realm. From the time, according to the present focused viewpoint, liberation occurs in one samay, okay, one moment to get liberated. From the past oriented viewpoint, liberation is generally considered possible in both eras, Utsarpini and Avsarpini. Okay. So in what type of ascending cycle and what type of descending cycle, that is explained in the next paragraph. Specifically, the souls born at the end of the third era of the descending time cycle called Sukma Dukma. Okay. And those born in the fourth era. Just third era is just because there is a Hunda Auspirini. Okay. Hunda Auspirini means descending cycle. Okay. But this is a special kind of descending cycle which only appears after infinite descending and ascending cycle has passed. Then one type of this cycle comes where there are some exceptions. Like Tirthankar have daughters, usually Tirthankar doesn't have daughter. Then there are never an cruel torture on Tirthankars. But here we have seen that Parsnath and Mayur Bhagwan, they were had to endure the cruel torture, before getting liberated. So all these are exceptions of this particular time. So here also the liberation is attained only, at the end of the third era of the descending cycle. Okay, the souls born at the end of the third era also got liberated. But usually it is in the fourth era only of both the cycle, ascending cycle and descending cycle. So now we are in the descending cycle. So fourth era people, souls do got liberated. And then when again the fourth era will appear, so after fourth, fifth will appear. That is another 21,000. We are in the fifth era now. And then the sixth era will also be of 21,000 years. Then the reverse cycle will go. Again, sixth era will come 21,000 years. Then fifth era will come 21,000 years. And then in the fourth era, the souls will get liberated. Okay. Okay. Third is realm. Realm means gati, state of existence. From the present focused viewpoint, liberation is attained only in the liberated state. From the past oriented viewpoint, liberation is attained only from the human realm of existence. Okay. So only in a male human existence, the liberation happens from the past oriented viewpoint. Okay. Now the fourth point, gender, ling. So from the present focused viewpoint, liberation occurs only in the genderless state, because once the soul has left the body, there is no gender, no male, no female, no neuter, okay, no distinctions. But from the past oriented viewpoint, liberation can occur from all three gendered disposition. So this gendered disposition means bhav ved, okay, and not dravya ved. So from gendered disposition, bhav ved, male, female and hermaphrodite, all three can get liberated. But from the dravya substance viewpoint, okay, from the substance viewpoint, that is dravya bhav, okay, from the dravya bhav, dravya ved, not from the dravya bhav, but dravya ved must necessarily be masculine. So only a male gets liberated.
Ji, excuse me, right? I don't understand that when I'm talking about the Gadi, from the present focus viewpoint, liberation is attained only in the Siddha Gadi. Right? It means that Siddha is already in the Siddha state, no?
No. See what happened, the moment you discard the body, then only you get liberated. Okay.
Yeah, that I could understand.
So in the 14th stage, the body is still there. Okay. But after discarding the body only, the soul gets liberated. So when he discards the body, there is no real human or any state of existence. Okay. So from the focused viewpoint, it is Siddhgati is liberated state. It is attained only in the liberated state. Okay. Liberation. So once you leave the body, then only you get liberated, right? But from the past oriented viewpoint, the human realm of existence is always existing. Okay. So immediately past modification would be of human form only, and that also male human, not again female human. Okay. Similarly, in the gender, so this is gender disposition, that is called bhav ved. So bhav could be anything, male, female, and hermaphrodite. But when we talk of dravya ved, then it will always be a male, masculine human being. Okay. According to the present focused viewpoint, take it further up, Darshit ji. Liberation is achieved in the state of Nigranthaling. Okay. That is monastic renunciate. Whereas according to the past oriented viewpoint, even from the state of Sagranthaling, okay, that is of a householder, liberation may occur. So in the past, you may be a householder and then you become a monk and you get liberated. Okay. So both the way. Fifth point, spiritual tradition, Tirth. Some attain liberation as Tirthankars, while other as ordinary omniscients. Samanya Kevli. Okay. Only 24 Tirthankars are there in an era. So apart from that, many other souls also do get liberated, but they are all ordinary omniscients. They don't have the holy assembly. Samosaran is not there. Then other magnificence are also not there, which are only applicable to Tirthankars. Many ordinary omniscients even don't utter any word also, and they get liberated. Okay. But Tirthankars do have this Divya Dvani, and the tradition of passing on to the religion is happening through Tirthankars only. Among them, some attain liberation during the presence of a Tirthankar, while others do so even in the absence of one. Okay. So after Mahavir Bhagwan got liberated, 3 other souls also got liberated. First one was Gautam Gandhar, then Sudharmacharya, and then Jambu Swami. Okay. So at that point of time, there were no Tirthankars, but still they got liberated. So some get liberated in the presence of a Tirthankar, while others do so even in the absence of Tirthankar. Conduct. So we have learned the 5 types of conduct in the 9th chapter. Okay. The different tools of Samvar, so that was there in the 9th chapter. So at that point of time, we did study about the 5 kinds of charitra. So now what conduct a liberated soul would have? So as seen from the present focused viewpoint, the mode through which liberation is attained can be called neither charitra nor acharitra, right? Because when you get liberated, so all these attributes manifest absolutely pure, 100% pure. Okay. So it is neither charitra nor acharitra. But from the past oriented viewpoint, liberation is attained through perfect conduct, yatha kya charitra. Okay. So this yatha kya charitra is attained in the 14th stage of spiritual development, in the uninterrupted mode. Okay. And in the interrupted mode, like immediately before that, there could be other kinds of charitra also, other 4 kinds of charitra. Okay. So, and in the uninterrupted mode, liberation is attained through equanimity, that is Samayik charitra, expiation, subtle passions, perfect conduct. Okay. Samayik, Chedopsthapna is expiation. Okay. Then Sukshma Sampra is subtle passions. And then Yathakya Charita, that is perfect conduct. And those who also possess the conduct of complete avoidance and purity, Parihar Vishuddhi Charitra, attain liberation through all 5 forms of conduct. So this is immediately the past conduct that is present. Okay. Now the 7th point, self-enlightened and instructed. Those who attain knowledge on their own are called Pratyak Buddhas. That means self-enlightened. And those who attain knowledge through others' guidance are called Bodhita Buddhas. So some attain liberation on their own and some attain liberation through the teachings of others. Okay. So the Tirthankars, they attain liberation on their own. There is no guru for a Tirthankar. He himself is the guru of his own. Okay. So they never get initiated into monkhood under any preceptor monk. They take diksha on their own. Okay. So some attain liberation on their own, like the Tirthankars, and some attain liberation through the teachings of others. 8th point, knowledge. From the standpoint of present focused viewpoint, liberation is attained through only omniscience. Without omniscience, you cannot attain liberation. But from the past oriented viewpoint, some attain Keval Gyan preceded by sensory knowledge and scriptural knowledge, Mati Sudgyan. Some attain preceded by sensory, scriptural and clairvoyant knowledge, and some attain preceded by sensory, scriptural, clairvoyant and telepathy. Okay. So, and only do they attain liberation. So from the past viewpoint, it is all possible. But from the present viewpoint, only omniscient beings get liberated. Number 9, spatial occupancy, Avgana. The space occupied by the soul space points, Atma Pradesh, is called spatial occupancy. The highest spatial occupancy measures 525 Dhanush. I was just talking about Adinath Bhagwan. So Adinath Bhagwan was 525 Dhanush, and the lowest spatial occupancy is slightly less than 3.5 Hath. Okay. So that is, I think, approximately lowest, I think that was of Mahavir. So that must be 3.5 Hath. So it was somewhere around 7 foot, I think so. There are many types of medium spatial occupancy. From the past oriented viewpoint, liberation is attained through any of these spatial occupancy. And from the present focused viewpoint, liberation is attained through the spatial occupancy that is somewhat similar than this, because the spatial occupancy of the liberated soul is slightly less than that of its final body. Now, intervals. The souls who attain liberation do so either in an unbroken sequence or with intervals in between. Okay. If soul attain liberation continuously, then for at least 2 samayas and at most 8 samayas, they continue to be liberated. And after that, an interval occurs. Okay. So, I think the number given is in a one moment, in a one samay, maximum that can get liberated is 108. Okay. And in a span of 6 months and 8 samay, 608 souls do get liberated every 6 months and 8 samay. This is a universal law. It does not change. You may ask that there is nobody getting liberated now. So every 6 months, how 608 are going to liberate? But from the Mahavidya Kshetra, the liberation is always open. Okay. So from there, right now, every 6 months and 8 samay, 600 souls are getting liberated. That is on a continuous basis. If no soul attains liberation, then an interval of at least 1 samay and at most 6 months occur. So 6 months there is no liberation, and in the next 8 samay that is left over, in each samay maximum 108 can go. So that will cover up. So 6 months nobody got liberated, but in the next 8 moments 608 will get liberated, because in one samay 108 can go to and can get liberations. Okay. So that is similar explanation is given in the 11th point. In one samay, that is numerical strength, sankhya, in one samay at least one soul attains liberation, and at most 108 souls attain liberation. So minimum is 1, maximum could be 108. Number 12, numerical distinctions, alpa bahutva. The comparative assessment of the number of distinct souls in relation to factors such as the kshetra, spatial region, is called alpa bahutva. Okay. So the comparative assessment of the number of distinct souls in relation to factors such as all these 12 parameters is called alpa bahutva, quantitative distinctions. From the present focused viewpoint, all souls attain liberation from the Siddha Kshetra. Hence, there is no numerical inferiority or superiority in that regard. From the past oriented viewpoint, those souls who were carried away and liberated by someone else are few in number, whereas those who are self-liberated by birth are innumerably more than them.
Rajesh, sir, I don't understand this last point actually.
So I'll explain.
You can explain it,
From
please.
the viewpoint of space, okay, etc. So all those 12 parameters, different souls with different quantity, if we compare, then it is called numerical distinction, alpa bahutva. Okay. So when you do a comparative assessment of the number of distinct souls in relation to factors as kshetra, then all the 12 parameters, you take it down, there will be numerical distinctions. Okay. Because in some parameter it will be less, in some it will be more. So there will always be variations in that. Okay. Now, the next explanation was there from the perspective of present focused viewpoint. All get liberated from the Siddha Shila only. Okay. Siddha Kshetra only. Sorry. Siddha Kshetra means the, like Gajpantha is a Siddha Kshetra. So from there, Samet Sikar is a Siddha Kshetra. From there, souls have got liberated. Okay. So wherever the souls get liberated from, that particular place is called Siddha Kshetra. It's a tirth. Okay. And people do go to those pilgrimage visits, like we go to from Girnar, then Pavapuri, then Samet Sikhar. All these places are called Siddha Kshetra. Okay. There is no numerical inferiority or superiority in that regard. From the past oriented viewpoint, those souls who were carried away, okay. So somebody carried them away. Those are very few in number, okay, and are liberated by someone else are few in number. Whereas those who are self-liberated by birth are innumerably more than them. Okay. So these are the differences. Yeah, Priyanka, you wanted to ask?
Jajinendra, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, something related to this, but not exactly a question on the text that we are reading. Sir, I had heard from someone that when we visit the Siddha Kshetras like Gajpantha ji,
yeah,
and our the souls that Samet Shikhar,
Yeah.
and so on. And the souls that have been liberated,
Hmm.
the particles or
Hmm.
like the dust of that pure soul
Hmm.
still is like, existing in those places. How much of that is true?
So, like, basically, it could be possible because those particles, they, as a matter, as a substance, never gets destroyed. Okay, it only changes its form. So those particles which were the body of the soul that has got liberated, that will be in some form or the other, maybe in those places, or it may have transformed to some other place, right? So that there is no record as such. But generally talking, why we go to a place where somebody has got liberated, just to
Yeah.
have a feeling of the environment that existed in those places. For that reason only we go there, and the purpose is to you go there and you also meditate, sit there and meditate, take time out, take 15 days and be at one place, and then you assess how the atmosphere is, how it is conducive to for you to do meditation over there. So all these factors are there. So generally people do visit those places. Those places are called tirth, and they are
Yeah.
places of pilgrimage for a seeker, right? So so that kind of craze is always there. But whatever you said there, I don't think there is any truth about that. But as you said, it has been said by someone, so that is
There
anybody's
are
guess.
just in general that, just say, we say a hit kshetra, or
हाँ,
like, this there are magical like Mahavir ji. People go to
अतिशय
Mahavir.
क्षेत्र, अतिशय क्षेत्र.
Atishay Kshetra, yes, Atishay Kshetra. And then they say that, at Mahavir ji, you can see the Pratima smiling.
Hmm.
So, since childhood, I've heard all those things. So, just wanted to like verify as in how much truth is there to those things.
So some specialties are always there. In fact, I have never experienced such, and I've never been to those places. And like, but those are there. I also heard about it, and there are some peculiarities there which makes them special. So there are some stories also goofed up, and some are also truth. So I I'm not aware which one are the truth one and which one has been fabricated stories, that I'm not aware.
Okay.
But generally speaking, there are temples constructed in those places. So it's just a kind of visit to those pilgrimage sites.
Okay, sir. Thank
Hmm. Okay. The soul liberated from the upper world, Urdhva Lok, are few in number. Those liberated from the lower world are innumerably more than them. And the souls liberated from the middle world, Madhya Lok, are innumerably more than those from the lower world. Okay. So upper world, then lower world, and then the medium world, middle world, where the souls are generally, those who got liberated are increasing in numbers. Among these, the souls liberated from the ocean regions are the fewest. There are stories in Pratman Yoga where a monk was sitting on in a liberation, in a meditation pose, and some devas, celestial beings, they came and they picked up that soul, that person, the monk, and took them at a height, and then they threw it into the ocean. While coming down, that soul got liberated. Okay. So there are stories like that. So it has been mentioned that those who got liberated from the oceans region are the fewest. Those liberated from the islands are numberably more than them. This is the general statement. Okay. So these are all general statements. As for the specific statement, the soul liberated from the Lavan Samudra, Swambhu Raman Samudra, now this is Lavan Samudra, are the fewest, and those liberated from the Kalodadi Samudra are numerably more than them. those liberated from the Jambudvip are numerably more than them. Those liberated from the Ghatki Khand are numerably more than them. Those liberated from the Pushkarad are numerably more than them. This constitutes lesser or greater comparison, Alpa Bahutva, from the perspective of Kshetra. So these are all information that has been conveyed through the sermons of Tirthankar, and the Gandhars have grasped it and they have passed on to the Acharyas, and in that lineage this knowledge is coming to us. These are all, we cannot prove it, we have to just believe in it, because the omniscient never tell lies, okay, because he sees everything in his knowledge, omniscience knowledge, so he has no reason to tell lies. So we need to believe as it is, but there cannot be any proof made on this, nor historically, nor geographically, and also not logically. From the perspective of time, okay, so now each is being explained in bit detail than the earlier one, okay. So now somebody would read, Rajeshwari ji, you could read.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
From the perspective of Kal, time, the souls liberated in the ascending time cycle are the fewest. Those liberated in descending time cycle are more than them. And those liberated during those both ascending and descending time cycles are numerably more than them. Because in the five Mahavidas, neither ascending nor the descending time cycles exist. And yet souls are continually being liberated from there. From the present focused viewpoint, liberation occurs in one samaya. Therefore, lesser or greater comparison does not arise. From the perspective of Gati, realm of existence, there is no numerical distinction according to the present focused viewpoint. According to the past-oriented viewpoint, the souls who come from the subhuman human realm, Tiryanj Gati, and become humans before attaining revelation are the fewest. Those who come from the human realm and attain liberation as humans are numerably more than them. Those who come from the hellish realm and attain liberation as humans are numerably more than them. And those who come from the celestial realm and attain revelation as humans are numerably more than them. From the perspective of Veda gender disposition, it is considered that according to the present focused viewpoint, only the sexless beings, Veda Riyat Jeevs, attain liberation. Hence, lesser or greater comparison does not apply. According to the past-oriented viewpoint, the souls who climb the spiritual ladder, Shreni, and attain liberation, and the neuter sex are the fewest. Those who attain the latter and attain liberation with the female disposition, Strived, are numerably more than them. And those who descend the ladder and attain liberation under the influence of male disposition, Purushaved, are numerably more than them. From the perspective of the spiritual tradition, Tirth, the souls who attain liberation after become Tirthankars are few. The souls who attain liberation as ordinary Kevalis are numerably more than them. From the perspective of conduct, according to the present focused viewpoint, there is no lesser or greater numerical comparison. Even according to the past-oriented viewpoint, all unimprinted conduct is the nature of the perfected conduct. Yata Kyati Charitra. Hence, there is no numerical distinction. From the perspective of conduct that includes interruptions, the souls who attain liberation after observing all five forms of conduct are the fewest. And those who attain liberation after observing four forms of conduct are numerably more than them. The self-enlightened Pratikta Buddhas are fewer. Those enlightened by the Bodhi Buddhas are numerably more than them. From the perspective of knowledge, Gyan, according to the present focus viewpoint, all souls attain liberation only after acquiring Keval Gyan, omniscience. Hence, numerical distinction does not arise. According to the past-oriented viewpoint, the souls who attained liberation with two kinds of knowledge are the fewest. The souls who attained liberation with four kinds of knowledge are numerably more than them. According to the specific statement, the souls who attained liberation after acquiring sensory, scriptural, and telepathic knowledge are the fewest. The souls who attain liberation with sensory, scriptural knowledge are numerably more than them. Those who attain liberation with sensory, scriptural, clairvoyant, and telepathic knowledge are numerably more than them. And the souls who attain liberation with sensory, scriptural, clairvoyant knowledge are numerably more than them. From the perspective of number, the souls who attain liberation in the number of 108 in one samay are few. Those who attain from the perspective of spatial occupancy, the souls who attain liberation with the lowest degree of spatial occupancy, Afghana, are few. Those with the highest spatial occupancy are numerably more than them, and those with the medium spatial occupancy are numerably more than them. From the perspective of number, the souls attain liberation in the number of 108 in one samay are few. Those who attain liberation in the range of 107 to 50 in one samay are infinitely more than them. Those who attain liberation in the range of 49 to 25 in one samay are innumerably more. And those who attain liberation in the range of 24 to 1 in one samay are numerably more than them. Among the souls who attain liberation, the matter in this manner, from the present viewpoint, there is no distinction. Whatever distinction exists, they are from the viewpoint of past states. Bhut Parai. Thus, the 10th chapter concludes here. As he concludes to treatise Tattva Sutra, the revered Acharya offers the following verse. In any statement in this treatise is deficient in letters, syllables, words.
So I'll read the Hindi
intonation.
one. I will read the Hindi one.
Yeah.
Akshar Matra Pad Swarhinam. Okay. So before I start this, I would like to summarize the earlier discussion that what Rajeshri ji read. So here the comparison has been given. Already whatever has been explained earlier that I explained, the 12 parameters, the 12 exposition, from that perspective, how much, because those comparisons were for liberated souls, right? And that were from the viewpoint. From the real point of view, there could not be any differences between a liberated soul. But from the perspective of two viewpoints we considered, one was the present focused viewpoint and the other one was the past. Okay. So there were differences. Okay. And accordingly there were in numbers, in terms of numbers also there were differences. So those they highlighted. Now there could not be any logical basis why it is like this and why it is like that. You cannot prove anything. You have to just believe that whatever omniscient has seen, and based on that the sermons, the Gandhars are passed on to the Acharyas, and from Acharyas this Acharya Uma Swami in the 2nd century. You just imagine 2000 years ago, 1900 years ago, in the 2nd century, this scripture was written. And he was a principal disciple of Kunkunda Acharya Dev, right? And Kunkunda Acharya Dev wrote all those spiritual texts, Sem6, Pravachan, and all. And here we are looking at all the descriptions. These are from all conventional viewpoint, right? And we don't see any logic behind so much of explanation, right? But still, there are people who get interest in this kind of subjects, and for them this scripture has been written. Okay. We are very fortunate to have this Sem6 and Pravachan and Moksha Marg Prakashak. These are all cream of all the scriptures. By just understanding a simple few principles, you are able to manifest happiness in your life. So we have got a very, very real shortcut. But as far as scriptures are concerned, now this is what we read about Tattva Sutra. Now when you read Gomatsar Jeev Kand, Gomatsar Karm Kand, These are further deep, but all explanation are according to the omniscience. You cannot prove anything here. Okay, so we have to just believe what is written in the scriptures. Only thing is that by looking at the minute details that has been given, that recent Rajeshriji was reading in the last part, that just take it further up, Darshitji, not this way, down. From this time to this time, the souls got liberated more. So I was just wondering that how these details have come, so minute details. Yeah, here. From the perspective of numbers, the soul who attain liberation in the number of 108 in one samay. In one samay, 108 people's soul getting liberated are very few. But those who attain liberation in the range of 107, 250, again, this is a bracket. Yeah. So these are infinitely more than them. Then 49 to 25 are still more. And then 24 to 1 are more. So these kind of minute details, like it's really very surprising that how would be the knowledge of omniscience. He can just see all these in real time, and this is what he has expressed in his sermons, and accordingly the scriptures have been written. We are knowing through this. So all these inspire us to manifest that complete knowledge, that is the true potential of a soul. Each and every soul is having that potential. Only thing is that when we take shelter in our soul, we are able to manifest that, and sooner we manifest that, better is for us. Yeah, Darshitji, what question you have?
Okay, so the question I have is where in this few paragraphs ahead or after, it said that you can only get liberation from the male when you're in a male state. But in this particular kal, in the fifth kal, where liberation is not taking place, male or female really that doesn't matter, does it?
Yes, but male can become a monk. You can go up to 7th stage of spiritual development. But a woman can go up to the 5th stage of spiritual development. These are some of the limitations, but nevertheless, nobody can get liberated now. But those who manifest right belief, they will never get a woman life in future. So any female getting right belief, they can very well get right belief. They can attain the 4th stage, they can attain the 5th stage also. So they will never again born as a woman. Okay, and all the males who are manifesting right belief, they will also never born as a woman again. Okay, so this much assurance is what we got from Chedala. Like if you manifest right belief, you will not be born here, you will not born here. So all those details are there in the scriptures, and that is only glorifying the importance of right belief. That is what they want to highlight. So you also attain right belief, and you will get all these good lollipops.
Thank you.
So we come to the last, Akshar matra pad swar hinam vyanjan sandhi vivid jarte fer refam. So these are all vowels and what you called the grammatical things. So there could be mistakes in those parameters, but as far as meanings are concerned, there could never be a mistake, because this has been written by a Acharya Dev, okay, Acharya Umaswamy. So it says that sadhu bhiram mam shamitavyam ko na vimuati sastra samudre. So if any statement in this treatise means this scripture, is deficient in letters, syllables, right, words, intonations, consonants, compounds, or the letter ra, then the noble sense is just requesting the noble sense, Muni, ought to forgive me. If there are such mistakes, you please forgive me. For who does not become bewildered in the vast ocean of scripture. So bewildered means vimohit. So anybody can falter anywhere in this vast ocean of scriptures. There could be mistakes, if slightly your deviation, your attention is diverted, we made mistakes. In objectives also, if you are not very composed in your mind, you make silly mistakes, So this can very well happen with acharyas also. So he has humbly requested the noble saints to forgive me, to forgive them. The implication is that scriptures are like a profound ocean, very deep ocean. Just as even capable individuals may falter in the depths of the sea, so too may even great men err within the ocean of scripture. Note that the Acharya here expresses the possibility of errors related to letters, syllables, words, intonations, consonants, compounds, or the letter array, but not of conceptual. Conceptual mistakes will not be there, or doctrinal meaning. Okay, bhav. For one as mature and learned as he, errors of meaning are simply not conceivable. If he had felt he might err in the meaning, he would not have written at all. In the light of Acharya's greatness and scholarship, we must not even imagine the possibility of a conceptual error. In this way, the Tattva Sutra, also known as Moksha Shastra, comes to an end. And this great treatise, there are around 100 commentaries from different acharyas and monks and scholars have been written. So lot of has been written, and this Tattva Sutra is the most popular scriptures among the Svetambars, Digambars, across all sects. Three things are being accepted. The one is Bhaktamar Stotra, the other is Tattva Sutra, and the third one is Namokar Mantra. So this is common among all Jains. And then of course the scripture varies, So different sects have all their kind of scriptures which they propagate and advocate, and they studies those only. So there could be difference in that, but as far as this scripture is concerned, Tattva Sutra, it is acceptable to all, and it has given very minute details as seen by the omniscient, which otherwise we would not have been able to comprehend it. But because it is written by an Acharya and it's according to the sermons of the Tirthankars, we need to accept it and accept it and understand it. That's all. So this is the end of Tattva Sutra.
Hey, excuse me, what is that letter Ra?
Letter Ra, I think in Hindi, let me check in Hindi what's it written. Oh, I think it will be ref, like karma. So ka, ma, and then above ma there is one ref, So that ref is there. In Hindi it is written ref. So I think they have written only RA, but it should be RAF or REF. Okay. So that is the karma. So instead of writing Ra, they just do a mark of like this, ref. That is called ref in Hindi. So that must be referred here, ref. Anything else? So it is ref. At both the places it is written as ref. So that's related to literature. Okay. Hindi vowels. Okay. So we have completed this. Now there is an additional subject along with this 9th and 10th chapter, because the syllabus is very small, 9th and 10th chapter only. So there is one topic called Samadhi Maran, natural peaceful death. So that also we are going to study in the next class. I'll be sharing the scriptures. It is consisting around 51 pages, small pages just like this. So out of that, I think 27 pages have been corrected so far, and the further I get, I will be completing that and sharing in the class just before our next week the class starts. I'll be sharing that, and we will try to complete that within the next 2 classes or maybe 3 classes. Okay, and then we will move on to the paper number 2. Okay, so I'll be also giving you the CC1 homework, next week by the time we complete Samadhi Maran. So we can include that also, and we can include some of the topics from Tattva Sutra also. So I'll be deciding in the next week CC1. So your homework will start in this SEM from that CC1. And of course, the Gandhar Mulyankan also I'll be giving from Tattva Sutra only, mostly from the 9th chapter. So that also I'm planning it out, and maybe next Tuesday I'll give you both the homeworks so you can start doing it one by one. Okay. Yeah, anything else? So you have to read this Tattva Sutra again and again to understand it in better, because reading once is not sufficient to understand. And still, if you have any questions, we can discuss on one-to-one basis anytime. Okay. So निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है।